My name is Dr. Paul Robert, and I live in Bangkok, Thailand. I've known Dennis for a number of years because of my interest in old-time radio and old-time TV. I had purchased some products from him in the past. When I found out that he was dealing with a new product called Xtreme, I was a little bit dubious because there's a lot of Android boxes out there on the marketplace. In fact, in Thailand, we make a lot of them. But then I decided to help support Dennis with his activities, and I had him ship one to a resort that I was staying in Orlando, Florida. I was a little bit skeptical until I plugged it in, and then all of a sudden I found that there were movies on there that I didn't even know existed that hadn't made it to Thailand before, specifically Star Trek Renegade. My daughter wanted to see Minions that was out recently, a lot of movies that are 2015 version, a lot of old TV serials that I had missed seeing being in Thailand. I'm extremely satisfied and excited about this product, and I recommend it to anyone. In fact, I'm going to go back to Thailand and I'm going to show others this particular box, because if they can see the things that I've seen sitting in Thailand, it's going to be a marketable product. So if you're interested in having a unique device to put on your TV set that you can plug your own hard drive into as long as it has video files, you're going to have a very exciting time with this product. I highly recommend it. And again, this is an unsolicited testimonial. I have nothing to do with this product or any remuneration for these comments.
Thank you, Paul, for that wonderful testimony of a product that I think everyone is going to really like. Xtreme Platinum is the premier streaming device. Go to oldtimeradiodvd.com today and place your order. oldtimeradiodvd.com. You'll be glad you did.
I was a communist for the FBI.
Starring Dana Andrews in an exciting tale of danger and espionage. I was a communist for the FBI. From the actual records and authentic experiences of Matt Savetic come many of the incidents in this unusual story. Here is our star, Dana Andrews, as Matt Savetic, who for 9 fantastic years lived as a communist for the FBI.
9 endless years, but they ended. 3,000 tormenting days and haunted nights. An eternity of nerves, with my stomach in hard knots and my chest bound in steel so I could hardly breathe. How did I last through it? I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe part of a man dies after doing some of the things I had to do. Worth it? Definitely. Would I do it all over again? I don't know.
In a moment, listen to Dana Andrews as Matt Savetic, Undercover Man. Here is Dana Andrews as Matt Savetic, Undercover Man. This story from the confidential file is marked Pennies from the Dead.
I don't like it. I stand in front of Comrade Revson's desk while he studies some papers in front of him and looks up at me from time to time with those small, contemptuous eyes of his. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he snaps.
How much do you weigh?
Why?
I asked you.
Well, 180 pounds, I'd say.
Good.
Why?
Eyes brown, hair brown. Height?
Just tall enough for my feet to reach the ground, with apologies for the gag to Abraham Lincoln, okay?
Never mind, you'll do. First, you will go to a passport photo studio and get a photo of yourself.
Passport photo?
To attach to your passport, yes.
My passport? Where am I going?
You are not going. You have just arrived.
Well, did I have a good trip? And where from?
If you were not otherwise such a good man for us, I should find it necessary to discipline you for your impertinence. You will take this passport, made out for one Alexei Borodin. Comrade Borodin landed last night from one of our European ports.
How did he get a passport?
We have methods.
Forged?
We have methods.
Go on.
Comrade Borodin is an important Soviet agent we wish to have in this country. However, for the time being, we wish to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We need money.
We always need money. How does this cure it?
We have here other papers giving you power of attorney to act for a certain Olga Lazarov of Gorodok, a town near Minsk, Russia.
Yeah? Power of attorney for what?
To collect monies due her from the estate of Private First Class Joseph Lazarov of the United States Army, recently deceased. Private Lazarov has no American relatives to claim his insurance and other estate. So we shall claim it in the name of his old forgotten grandmother in Gorodok.
I see.
Get a suitable picture taken, then come back. Then I will instruct you where to go and whom to see at the Independent Veterans Organization. It is quite simple. Go and come back.
I don't like it. I hate it. I don't quite get all of it yet, but what I get, I hate. I've pulled some shoddy little tricks for the party, but this looks like the main event in the Dirty Derby. I go to a place and get a fast photo of myself that makes me look like a B television version of a Balkan spy. Then I go to a public telephone, making sure I'm not being followed, and dial my FBI contact.
Hello.
Drugstore?
This is the drugstore. May I help you?
Oh, this is Dr. Herbert.
Yes, doctor.
How about lunch today?
Sounds good to me. You very hungry?
Plenty. Where?
You name it.
I'm at Main and Temple, and there's a little restaurant with booths on the next corner south.
Well, how about 10 minutes?
Right.
Thank you, doctor.
So long.
Yeah, Matt, we're familiar with the device, all right. It's one of the ways the party finances itself.
Can't anything be done about it?
Yeah, it's a tough order, Matt. See, the way it works, the party keeps a file on all U.S. veterans of Russian origin. Now, when one dies without heirs or legatees, the party darn well digs up an heir somewhere behind the Iron Curtain, see?
You mean they'll have to turn over Joseph Lazarov's effects and all to me, to deliver to a relative of his somewhere behind the Iron Curtain who doesn't even exist?
You have power of attorney. All legal and to measure.
Forged, probably. Phony.
Probably.
Can't you do something about it?
We don't know yet.
You don't know yet. Meanwhile, I've got to do the dirty work. I've got to be the one who steals the pennies off a dead American soldier's eyes to hand them over to the commies. Well, I won't do it.
Look, Matt.
Yeah.
It's a chance for you to see the inside of the gouge and report to us. We can do certain things about it, sure. But it gives us more research on the trick, fattens our files until we're ready to act.
Meanwhile, I pick dead pockets for the Reds.
If you don't do it, they'll find somebody who will do it. Gladly. They won't report to the FBI either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you happen to match the description of this Borodin person on the passport, that's all. The Reds could find 10 men in this town to match that description.
What happens to Borodin?
Yeah, it's an interesting angle. Looks as if they're turning a Soviet agent loose in this country and turning you loose on PFC Lazarov's estate at the same time.
Two birds with one stone is the way Revson, the corny comrade, put it.
Don't underrate Revson.
I don't.
And keep in touch. Now, what do you want to eat?
I'm not hungry. I report back to Revson. He appraises my passport photo and then substitutes it for the photo of Alexei Borodin. He gives me the name of the man to see at the Independent Vets Organization and some final words of cheer and caution before I rob the dead.
Be prepared for a hostile reception. Stand firmly, however, on your legal rights as represented in your papers, and which they are unable to controvert. There is nothing they can do but recognize this Olga Lazarov's claim.
Suppose I'm questioned about my passport, my English, my contact with Olga Lazarov.
Answer or not, as you please. If the official gets unruly, rebuke him. Have no scruples about that. Assert your rights.
Very good.
Always place him in the wrong if you can.
Leave it to me.
There is a matter of some $12,000 involved, if our information is correct.
A tidy little donation to the cause.
And already as good as ours. All you have to do is arrange to collect it. Go.
Alexei Borodin, is it?
That's correct, Mr. Gregory.
How did this Olga Lazarov happen to learn of her grandson's death?
The obituary was in the American papers.
I wasn't aware that the American press reached such Soviet centers as Moscow, let alone a hinterland like this, what is it?
Gorodok, not far from Minsk.
Does it?
Pardon?
Does our press penetrate the Iron Curtain?
Well, not quite, sir.
Of course.
However, the Soviet government has the interest of its citizens close to its heart.
Did you speak to this Olga Lazarov?
I must ask you not to refer to her as this Olga Lazarov. Olga Lazarov or Madame Lazarov, if you please.
Did you speak to Olga Lazarov?
There's a signature, properly witnessed by 2 citizens of Gorodok.
Yes.
Any data at all is open to your closest scrutiny and investigation.
To whatever extent possible under the circumstances.
Please call me at any time. You have my hotel.
You appreciate the necessity for delay.
Naturally.
A fair amount of money's involved, and these small effects.
He opens a drawer and takes out a soft leather pouch, tosses it on the desk. It's old and dark, with age and sweat and handling, closed with soiled drawstrings. I look at it. I feel it tightening in my throat. This is it. This humble leather pouch containing, I don't know, trinkets, mementos, badges, medals maybe, I don't know. But all at once, I want to know. I want to see and touch the things that Joseph Lazarov, soldier of his adopted country, thought worth saving. I want to visit the grave of Joseph Lazarov, dying alone and unmourned in a little rooming house. I want to say, hello, Joe. Want to say, so long, Joe. Sorry.
That's it, and that's about all of it.
You mind if I open the pouch?
Go ahead.
That's right.
What?
Trinkets. Second place, 100-yard dash, Purple Heart. Brass ring. A single old-fashioned gold cufflink with a tiny diamond chip in the center. Some old coins. Discharge button.
And that's all. Does Madame Lazarov want that, too?
Just one gold cufflink?
We didn't take the other, believe me.
Just asking. Could I visit Private Lazarov's grave?
Why?
It's customary.
You certainly do it up brown, don't you?
Whatever that means, and I don't care what it means, I'd like to see Private Lazarov's grave.
Very well, Mr. Borodin. I'll arrange it for you.
I find the little gravestone among the thousands in the cemetery. I'm glad Private First Class Lazarov has the company of his fellow soldiers. It's a fairly new grave. The plot hasn't greened over yet, but it will. I stand there a while with my hat off. I think, so long, Joe. Don't be too rough on us. The job says I've got to rob you and hand it over to strangers. Look at it this way, Joe. It's an investment. It's experience and the inside dope. And it all goes into files where we'll have use for it someday. Figure it this way, soldier. It's your last contribution to your country, way beyond the call of duty. Your country, the USA, even if your name is Lazarov. Okay? I'm almost at the exit gate when I suddenly realize that there'd been a tired potted geranium on PFC Lazarov's grave and none on the others. But something else wipes that out of my mind in a hurry. A car is parked at the exit. Sitting behind the wheel, looking grim, is Comrade Revson. Revson?
Get in.
But what are you doing here? How did you know I was here?
Get in.
Trouble?
Enough, and for you.
Me? Why? What?
Get in.
Now back to Dana Andrews, starring as Matt Savetic in I Was a Communist for the FBI, and the second act of our story.
For half an hour, we drive out into the country, Revson not saying a word, his mouth set and his eyes dark with anger. Finally, he stops the car, and we walk away from it. We never know when the FBI might have wired a car, or an office, or a hotel room to record conversation. We sit down under a tree. Revson pulls up grass for a moment. Then he looks at me and comes to the point like a pistol shot.
They've arrested Borodin.